the app with a number of other AI tools in the same space, and looking at how Thesius gives you something slightly different from other AI tools. Now, for us, we are very intentional that Thesius is not just another generative AI tool, rather, it's an assistant, a study companion. Right now, you're drowning in research tools. There's ChatGPT, there's Notion, there's Google Docs, there's citation managers, Zotero, Mendeley. Everybody has an AI in their system. Every tool offers you generation, summarization, and analysis tools, some of which we have, some we don't have. But all these apps give you tools. Here's the thing nobody tells you about AI research tools: they're competing to be smarter and better. But that's not your problem. Your problem isn't speed, it's loneliness, it's confusion, it's distraction. You're sitting with papers nobody else understands, taking notes nobody else reads, revising in silence, wondering even if you're on the right path because there's nobody there to tell you where you are. And you also don't know what your inputs are. You have no structured system for actually managing studies. We know from research that just about 3% of students globally have a structured system for studies. Most people study when they feel like it, not using a structured system that helps them to get to their goals. So, most of these tools you're looking at don't understand this particular problem. They give you tools, which is just throwing more and more tools at a problem without understanding what that problem does. And so for Thesius, what Thesius does is first, we give you a way to keep track of what your inputs actually are. That's where we start with a study timer. So, what do I want to study? I want to have a session title. So, you come here and then you say focus on my research generally. For instance, I want to think for about 35 minutes about what I have read. Okay, and so come here, you give it a 35-minute timer, and you say review, and you start your focus session, and there it is. So now you're in here, you've got your focus session started. Hopefully this video won't take that long. And first of all, what we're doing is we're tracking this now. We are counting it as an input. And where do you see that input when you're done? You see it here. You can check at any given time to see how well am I actually doing, right? What have I accomplished in the last 3 months? You can simply come in here and you can see using this account that I'm logged in. Actually, I have written a total of 49,600 words with a daily average of 545 words, and my best day was October 7th, and so far I have a current streak of 0 days. So it gives me a clear picture at any given time of how serious I am in my commitment to my research. And it shows me my heat map. You can see the days that I was writing. You can see how thick October 7th my best day was. The lighter it is, the less committed that day was. So I really started writing much more seriously in September, from September 19th, 20th. So you can at a glance see how good or bad you're doing in terms of your focus, right? And you can see your writing. So October 7th being my best day, you can see how high it was, and then you can see the 7-day average at any given time. This gives you an ability to plan, to revise, to think, to measure your input. So you can say, well, if I'm trying to write 80,000 words for a doctoral thesis, 545 will get me, how many days will 545 get me to before I achieve my PhD, right? And to do that, we have a coach that every day is sitting down here looking at your data, looking at your statistics. And if you go, you can just go see, review your progress, and you can see it here. All the data, all the time that you have put inside using the app. You have your reports that are generated for your week. So let's see, this report was just generated on 16th November. Let's see. This is what I did over the last 1 week. I focused for about 29 minutes. I didn't really read a lot, and I only focused on analyzing one document. I engaged in 4 research activities, accumulating 29 minutes of focus time, including 0 minutes of reading and 28 minutes of writing. Right now, it gives me recommendations to set specific goals for my next research session with measurable outcomes, consider balancing my time allocation, and review my progress against my research timeline, right? And this is a very good report that at least it's not bloated. It's very, very structured. It's very specific. It gives you actionable recommendations. And now, another thing we have just done is that you can now create a project plan working with Thesius. The project plan can take all your data, basically everything you've told Thesius about yourself, what you're doing, and look at it and say, let me generate a research plan for you, right? And it can generate that plan, and you are going to sit with it, review it, and consistently monitor and upgrade your research based on that plan. And this plan is generated from your own work that you've given it, from your own inputs that you've given Thesius. So it's not just going to give you some random bullshit and ask you to edit it, but it's going to take some time, go into your research. It has a plan for you because I gave it a target completion date, for instance. Now it's giving me 7 phases of my research with 21 milestones and 88 tasks. It's broken it down very nicely for me, and I can look at it, right? It's giving, there's literature review part, it's giving it to me. It's looking at everything. It's generated all this for me, okay? And I say, okay, approve and create this plan for me. And it's created this plan for me now, okay? So now I can view my project plan. I can come in here. This is my project plan. Okay, this is the target date I have, and it's working with this target date. If you update the target date, it will update the plan for you. So it has an execution score. You need to go, and so this is the first place. So it also has a Gantt chart. We'll fix this. There's a bit of a bug in here. It's okay. You're watching us develop in real time. So we have a Gantt chart for how you're going to be tracking your timeline, and this is dynamic. It constantly updates, okay? So these are milestones that is giving you for your current focus, predefined research questions, right? Focus literature review and updated. These are structured to enable you to achieve your results in a very structured way, and none of this is fixed. So you can come here, look at it, and say, no, I don't think this is good enough for me. I'm going to update it, and then you can say, okay, I'll update any part of it I want. Click edit. Well, refine research questions document. Well, produce a document to refine research questions incorporating initial collection insights. So refine research data. Research data. Document incorporating research data, incorporating data collection insight. So you update it, right? It's not static, okay? It's your own milestone. It's not for you to simply just take what the AI has fed you and go away. You can update it. Now, in the background, every time you do something, Thesius is constantly evolving and updating that project plan in the background to make sure that you are laser focused and at any point you can always come and engage back again. It's always looking at what you have done, giving you a constant feedback, and we are consistently also on our side improving this, so well, this was a really, really terrible day. Only 4 words. Not a very productive day. Okay, so, and then another feature we have in here is a mindset feature. So that you guys don't see my notes, I will not be too far here. So here, this is a mindset feature, but I think, okay, I've just, just making note of how I have been, and you can, journal about your mood, how you're feeling, just to stay grounded, because it's necessary. It's a very lonely journey, and when you have, we have a statistic monitor here to just show you how your mood has been ebbing and flowing. And then you can also do breathing exercises just to calm yourself down before you go into study mode, before you get cracking on the actual work. And what else do we have for you? You can analyze your writing, and that is the final thing that I want to show you in this video. Now, I have this literature review that I generated, by the way, with AI. I didn't write this myself. This is randomly generated just to make this easy. So I copy the link, make sure that anybody can view, and I go into Thesius and I say I want a Google Doc, so I paste it. Okay, and what do I want? I want it to give me, yes, I'm working on my own draft. I want it to look at the flow and logic, the coherence, and am I looking at the right language? So there's language clarity, flow and logic, coherence, and technical language. I say time to analyze the document. Okay, and I'm going to import and analyze. I'm also going to now take that same document, go into Paperpal, paste it in here, and say, well, how does it work? Okay, check the flow and structure, and it's going in here on the side while Thesius is doing its own work. Paperpal is doing its own work. So let's see. Paperpal has gone a little bit faster. Oh, it's still writing. Okay, so let's see, how do we extract this? All right, a bit of a challenge here, but okay. It assesses the provided text on cabotage in Africa for its academic rigor. Overall, it provides a comprehensive overview. Okay, and then let's see detailed feedback and suggestions. Flow of information, the transition between paragraphs, especially between major sessions, feel abrupt, and all that. Okay, so I'm going to actually just copy this and put it inside this document as Paperpal, so you can compare fairly between Paperpal and Thesius. Okay, so Paperpal review. Okay, and now let's go to Thesius. Thesius, what do you have for us? It says it demonstrates a good grasp of the existing literature on cabotage in Africa. The structure is logical, progressing from global context to specific country examples and thematic insights. However, there are areas where clarity and focus can be sharpened to ensure examiners can easily verify claims and understand the core contribution. The review currently leans towards descriptive summary rather than critical synthesis, directly addressing the central research question. Okay, now you see this knows my central research question, by the way, in the background. Addressing the suggestions below will significantly improve the review's impact and contribution to the thesis. And now here are the suggestions. Rewrite the introduction and conclusion to explicitly state how this review reforms and justifies the central research question. Move beyond summarizing the literature and engage in critical analysis. Evaluate the strengths. Replace vague language with precise and verifiable statements. Argument, flow, and logic. The literature review goes, and it goes on and on and on. And it's very, very, very detailed. So this is where we are a bit different from other AIs because we are much more nuanced in terms of the suggestions we give you, and we have your analysis in your context in the background for our analysis. And then, of course, you can always save this to come back to it at a later time. I won't copy this and put inside this document, which I'll put inside this video. What I expect you to do is to go take this, copy it, and paste it into Thesius and do your own analysis. And then you can compare it with what Paperpal give at the end of the day, which I will keep inside the document. And so this is what you can also do. You can come and look at all the analysis you've done in the past. I just did this 4 days ago of the same document, and this is of Thesius right now again. And you can filter the analysis that you've received at any given time by, well, we didn't do for structure, we didn't do for, okay, yes, we did clarity of these two. Did we do research gaps? No. Coherence? None. Oh, these two? No. Yes. So if you've done a lot of research, and of course, writing is an iterative process. So it just keeps going on and on. You can write, review it, go back again. And one last thing to show you is writing. You can write at any time with Thesius, but we look at writing not as a way to replace what you're doing with your other writing tools like Google Docs or Microsoft Word. Rather, it's a place to keep your notes. After you keep your notes, you can use Thesius Writing Coach right here at the bottom that reviews all your notes to see whether you are staying true to your North Star or whether you're just drifting and going round and round. And it's in real time. Once you open it, it gets to work. It starts looking at all the notes you have here. And these notes, ideally, so it's looking at it now, it's now come to it and says, well, core contribution, the student demonstrates a strong understanding, okay, of, what he's doing. So it's giving me a good feedback. It means I'm on ground, I'm there in here. Immediate actions, okay, so it tells me clarify with my supervisor how this comprehensive proposal. So I think my proposal is somewhere in proposal, redraft notes somewhere is in here. Okay, so this is an amber alert. This is completion risk is saying that I have a very moderate risk of not meeting my target completion date, right? So it looks at all these things together for you. I'm not going to go too deep into them so that I don't make this video too long, but you get the point. Now, while you are writing, at any given point, we give you tools on the right here. You can link up your writing to a project, right? You can look at references that are linked to that particular project that you're working on. And you can insert quick templates, for instance, research notes, literature review in here, and then start writing with it immediately. So you can just go right there and it saves for you. Okay, one other thing which is my favorite, by the way, is the breathing exercise right here. You can literally just take a quick deep breathing exercise. And go. Okay, right there while you're writing. I mean, you can do it in between focus sessions. So we're still here. You can see it's tracking. It's real time. That's my focus session is right there. So in between your focus sessions, you can continue tracking. You can just, once you're done with your focus sessions, for instance, you can just come here and take a breather before you go back. And you can also take notes straight into this note taker using the voice notes feature. So I'm gonna leave it here for now. These are words written today. Your session analytics are live. Okay, so these are all the tools that will offer you basically to give you a coherent study companion, not just a bunch of tools that enable you to do things in isolation, but that give you a coherent picture at any given time follows you and is a partner in the research journey, which we know to be extremely, extremely lonely. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and please tweet at Thesius app for any questions that you have, and we will respond to you. Of course, we have also suggestions and feedback feature inside the app, which you can use to give us feedback at any given time. Thank you very much. Bye.